Emery was an unassuming young man living in the bustling city of Eldoria. By day, he worked at a small library, aiding curious minds in their pursuit of knowledge. But beneath his calm exterior lay a dark secret that few knew. Emery was born with a demonic power, a legacy passed down by his enigmatic ancestors. This power allowed him to manipulate shadows, turning them into tangible, formidable allies. It was a burden as much as it was a gift, for the world feared what it did not understand. Despite the darkness that coursed through his veins, Emery chose to harness his powers for a purpose greater than himself. Eldoria was a city of wonder, but it was also riddled with corruption and oppression led by a cabal known as the Scales. They were influential, operating in the shadows, leaving the common folk to suffer in silence. Emery decided to become their silent adversary, sworn to protect the innocent and bring justice to his city. By night, he became a whispered legend known as the Shade. The oppressed sang tales of a mysterious figure who appeared where the light could not reach, saving those who had lost all hope. He moved swiftly, using the shadows to cloak his presence and confuse his foes. Emerging from the darkest corners, he was an enigma wrapped in blackness, feared by those who thrived in wickedness. One evening, a young girl named Serafina sought Emery at the library, her eyes filled with despair. Her family was being oppressed by a ruthless landlord who was in league with the Scales. They were being forced out of their home, their voices drowned out by greed and corruption. Driven by her plight, Emery promised to help. When night embraced the city, the Shade emerged. He infiltrated the landlord's estate, weaving through the shadows, rendering his enemies powerless in surprise. The landlord panicked as his guards vanished into the night, swallowed by the dark tendrils commanded by Emery. In a final confrontation, Emery revealed his power, not as a curse, but as a beacon for justice. The landlord, faced with a formidable force, felt the folly of his greed. Emery's efforts would not lift the shadow off his soul, but it would serve to balance the scales. News of the landlord's sudden change spread, and the Scales grew wary, sensing a stirring tide of resistance. Emery continued his double life, fortified by the knowledge that his powers, though dark in nature, served a radiant cause. To the world, he remained Emery, the humble librarian, but in the hearts of those he saved, he was the Shade, a silent guardian ensuring that even the darkest nights could give birth to the dawn.